worldwide disease we have found is cystic fibrosis. We have found the way to improve the quality of life for cystic fibrosis patients by using nanobots.
Welcome to RT News. I'm Kendra and this is Shanika. Our top story today is the way to improve the quality of life for those diagnosed with cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis is an inherited disease caused by a deformity on chromosome number 7 of the 23 chromosomes that humans have.
Let's go see what doctors and specialists around the world are doing about this deadly disease.
Here's a field reporter Chase on site at the Kendra Ryan Hospital of Hope.
Thanks. Live at the Kendra Ryan Hospital of Hope.
Joseph and Mr. Noel, what brings you here today?
Well, Dr. Kelly, I seem to be having a persistent cough, chronic sinus, and episodes of pneumonia.
These could be symptoms of cystic fibrosis. And come to think of it, I've noticed a difference in your growth pattern.
Do you have record of this?
Actually, yes. See, Joseph has only grown 1 inch in 4 years. I'm going to bring in a cystic fibrosis specialist to talk to you. I have a patient here today that I believe has cystic fibrosis, and I need you to make an official diagnosis.
Hi Joseph, I am Dr. Tyler. Based on your symptoms, I would like to suggest a sweat test as our diagnostics.
What is a sweat test?
What we will do is place distilled water, an odorless and colorless liquid, on an arm or a leg. Then we will place an electrode over that spot. This weak signal will trigger your sweat glands and you will begin to sweat. You may feel tingling or warmth in the area of the electrode. Next, we will clean the area with filter paper, and after 30 minutes we will send it to a hospital lab where they will measure the chloride in your sweat. The amount of chloride will determine if you have cystic fibrosis or not. We'll schedule you for an appointment next Wednesday. Just remember not to apply any creams or lotions to your skin 24 hours before the test.
Okay.
What is cystic fibrosis?
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease. This genetic gene has an inherited gene that causes the body's tissue to not produce chloride correctly, and the balance of salt and water is off. This defective form of there is no longer a thick coating of slippery mucus, but thick, hard to move mucus instead. Changes will be needed to be made in both your diet and medication.
You see, what happens is that normally, mucus traps germs, and then the mucus is easily cleared out of the lungs. But when you have cystic fibrosis, the mucus is trapped in your lungs.
Okay, I still can't picture it though.
Here, let's try this. In an average human body, when you inhale, your lungs expand, and when you exhale, your lungs contract. Humans have a thin layer of mucus, which keeps the lungs lubricated for your air can flow smoothly down your windpipe and back out.
This is what happens inside a person with cystic fibrosis. That layer of mucus that is supposed to be thin gets all sticky and thick. Air cannot travel smoothly, therefore making it harder to breathe.
But is there a cure?
Not so far, but an FLL team are working on an inhaler, the Osis NanoX, which releases nanobots to break down the mucus. Do you understand?
No, what's a nanobot?
A nanobot is a microscopic robot that can perform certain repetitive tasks. In this case, the task would be to break down the thick mucus in the lungs. When you inhale from the Osis NanoX, the nanobots travel down your windpipe into your lungs, then break down the thick mucus. Next, they will leave your body and biodegrade. But don't worry, you won't feel a thing because they're so small.
I understand it now. How did Joseph get cystic fibrosis?
Cystic fibrosis is an inherited gene. You and your wife must have a cystic fibrosis gene in your DNA for Joseph to have this disease. These credit scores show all the possibilities.
This means that you and your wife must be carriers. Joseph has a 50% chance of being a carrier, a 25% chance of being cystic fibrosis free, and a 25% chance of having cystic fibrosis. Joseph is in that 25% category.
Treatment with the Osis NanoX can begin immediately, improving the quality of life with cystic fibrosis.
Live at the Kendra Ryan Hospital of Hope. Back to you.
Thanks. We'll be right back to wrap up today's story.
Cystic fibrosis is a deadly disease that affects many people, but who wants to spend their days coughing when there's an Osis NanoX out there to help victims?
The Osis NanoX is an inhaler with nanobots inside. When you inhale through the Osis NanoX, the nanobots go down through your windpipe and enter your lungs.
While the nanobots are in your lungs, they carefully break down the tar-like mucus and remove it from your lungs. Then biodegrade, then leave your body.
Call now and get the Osis NanoX for $19.99. Call now at 1-800-867-5309. Call now and get 2 inhaler refills, free of charge. Just pay separate shipping and handling. Call now.
Make someone's life with cystic fibrosis easier today.
That's all for today on RT News. If you would like to know more about cystic fibrosis, please contact the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Center, Sarnia Lambton chapter.
Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.